Nashville Superspeedway, and it's time for everyone's favorite week of any season, ARCA at Nashville Superspeedway. One of the best combos, one of the best tracks. We should be in for a fun time. Car is very loose off the corner, especially on old tires. I imagine that'll go away as the race goes on. But we have 40 laps. I am car number 4. And I was looking pretty decent in practice. Hopefully, we put down a fairly decent lap time here. Usually my practice speeds don't really translate to qualifying, though. But we just need to try and not get too loose out of the corner. Really wants to step out.
Green, green, green. Here comes your first time.
Right on the exit. It's a little bit snappy. You got to be very gentle with the wheel, not put too much into it. Okay, yeah, a little bobble right there. That's going to kill a little bit of the speed. Didn't attack exit as much as I should have, probably. That time I overdrove entry a bit. Not terrible,
One more lap to go.
but not great either. Okay, we did a sub 31. So that's about where I was in practice, so I can be happy with that, I imagine. Felt a little bit better there, and we're only P7, so maybe not so good. Tried to dive it in really deep there, see if we can gain an extra little bit of speed. Looks like we might. Okay. See where this puts us. Not too much quicker. And we did
There's the flag,
0.8.
man. It's over.
Puts us to P8. See if we stay there. But we got Colton in here. He is in the number 3. He just ran a 0.799. He joined practice with us, and I saw he was a 0.8, and everyone else was in the 0.9s. But he's always fast. To be fun to race with him, though I don't know if we'll see him. Hopefully we're still P8. We are. Track position is going to be big, I think, with the race not being too long. It's going to be hard to pass. Especially once the tires fall off. Early on, the looseness might help a bit. But these cars, with how little power they have, you really have to wait a while for the tires to fall off for passing to really be prevalent. But that's okay. Still going to be fun. Hopefully we can hang on to it and maybe move up with the tires towards the end of the race. Always love Nashville Superspeedway. We're still P8. Only one person left to go. And that is the 7 car. Well, the 22 has his checkered flag. Well, he's not here. 7 car might still be out there, or... yeah, he's still out there, so he might beat us. See when he gets the checkered flag. He just got it, and he did beat us. Great. I'd probably rather be on the inside to start with anyway. You can work that outside pretty well, though. But you gotta be careful not to overdrive it. These corners are sharper than they look, and if you overdrive it on the outside, you're gonna scrub off a lot of time and tire. So, gotta be careful with that. P9 as a number 4. Hopefully we can move up a little bit. But hopefully we just have a fun race. We got Keena in here as well. Give him a good luck. Colton starting up in 4th. Keena starting 11th. And this should be fun. Always fun running ARCA here. So great of a track. It's hard to, like, I'm making league schedules now, and it's hard to leave this track off of them, even though I'm trying to base it off of, like, historic NASCAR schedules. This track is just so good, and the racing is so good, that you just want to race it. Go ahead and refresh the paints before we get going.
We put
put in plenty of fuel to finish the race.
And let's have a fun time. Make sure to turn off fuel and stuff. Just make sure fast repair's on if we need it. Hopefully we don't. Hopefully we get a fairly decent start. We gotta keep in mind the cold tires are gonna be even looser. And we're gonna be on the inside, so we're gonna have to be trying to keep it lower on exit, which is gonna make it want to snap even more, since we can't open it up towards the wall. Unless we get clear into turn 1, which we could. Should be fun though. I'm looking forward to it.
You don't get any extra tire sets for this race, so let's be smart out there.
Any Nashville Superspeedway race, I'm looking forward to. I think Colton is. This is already his second race he's running. Second or third. Get out of pit road. Make sure this all is off.
Alright, man, we're going green next time. Bye. Alright, man, line up on the
And we get no
inside row.
tires,
Pit road
so
is closed.
don't need to worry about that. And let's get ready and have ourselves a good race. There's Colton up there on the outside. Starting second row on the outside. We have Keena right behind us. So that's good. And hopefully no one in front of us will spin out or anything. And we'll be good. Coming to the green here, though. Let's have a fun race. 40 laps, Nashville Superspeedway in the ARCA cars. Doesn't get much better
Get
than
ready.
that. Can't wait to take the Gen 4s here in the league
Alright, man. Pace cars in.
for a
Alright,
very
man.
long race.
Pace cars in.
Hey, I did not
Green
get a very
flag,
good start. I
green
wasn't
flag.
sure if they were going yet. That's okay.
Got one outside. All clear, all
We
clear.
get clear there. Just gotta watch the looseness. Get it off the corner as best we can, and we are in good shape. Single file here. Try and get into a rhythm and not burn off the tires too bad. 15's pushing up on exit. Maybe take advantage of that while the tires are fresh. Easier to make a pass.
Stay low, there's a car on the high side. All clear, all clear.
Get that done. Don't run me over. Slid up a bit.
All clear, all clear.
Okay, he overdrove it. That got us a good exit. Or we could pull away from it at least. Alright, we gained a couple spots there. See if we can maintain them. Looking good so far though. All clean up front. And we're up to P7. So easy to overdrive these corners, and you will really hurt the tires doing it. We got a little bit loose mid-corner there. That's going to give us a bit of a slower straightaway. Still looking all good up front. Let's not clobber the wall.
That was your fastest lap of the session.
The car isn't tight, but you push it wide on exit just so you don't put more wheel into it to get it loose. So you can sometimes clobber the wall on exit like you're pushing real bad. Same result, but different feeling car. Just got to be careful. Ideally, you never want to do that, but I'm known to do it from time to time. I'm sitting in this bubble right here. I don't know if we're really gaining or pulling away from anybody. It seems like we're kind of catching 9, but not by a lot. And these guys being on top of each other really isn't slowing them down a whole lot. They are single file. 9 pulled away pretty good there into 3 and 4. Getting pretty tight. Okay. As I almost spin out, I was going to say it's getting pretty tight on entry. Then we almost wreck. We don't need to put more wheel into it. See if we can settle back down, pull back away from the 15.
Release did on 30.978.
Just got to be patient with it. Can't force the car to do laps it was doing right at the beginning. It's already fallen off a little bit. But that's going to be a lot of time to make back up. Can't afford to do that again, though. We're going to get passed. But it was tight on entry, so I was putting more wheel into it, and then it snapped. And that's how quickly it can happen. If you're not paying very close attention the whole time. It is getting harder to turn on entry, though, which is probably going to be bad. We had a bad exit there. 15 is not going away, and neither is the 10 behind him. We may wind up back in 9th before this is over.
Appreciate that.
Not catching the 9. I just gotta hope that I'm saving tires here. I don't feel like I am, but we're on the right rear pretty heavily on exit. Entry, we're not. The 9 did just get way loose and then hit the wall, so we gained a little bit back on him. It's getting a little bit more touchy through the corner. Getting on it as early as I can, but that's giving it rotation, which we're just carrying to the exit, and it's not really going away until we open the wheel back up. Okay, that didn't feel too bad, but 15 still 3/10 back. We haven't been able to pull back away at all in these last few laps. Just gotta hope they fall off, but it's looking like we're gonna be the one falling off. Gotta remember I got that brake bias I can move. 15's blinking behind me a bit. We clip the apron. That's a good way to lose 2/10. Not good at all there. Still 0.3 back, 0.4 back actually. They're getting too wide now, so that's gonna help us. That's going to help us pull away a bit. But once he gets clear, if the 10's quicker right now, he might come up here and pass us. We're 3/10 off the leader. But that's fine. Nobody's catching the leader. I got to stop getting so loose in 1 and 2 there.
What the hell are you doing, dude?
This is one of my better tracks, one of my better cars, but everyone's really quick with this combo. So I'm happy running 7th. There's just 6 people that are much quicker than I am. And that's alright. I've been overdriving entry pretty bad, I think. 0.7 behind us to the 10. That's kind of maintained since he's past the 16. Not the 16. The 15 was the one behind us, wasn't he? He must have got trapped on the outside or something, or maybe he got the wall. I think it was the 15. 16's catching us now, though, but he's got to pass the 10 to get that to work. We got some too wide action up ahead. I just overdrove that pretty badly. I'm going to move the brakes back all the way, I think. It's not loose on entry, it's loose on exit. We're not using the brakes on exit, so get some turn on entry. Maybe we don't get so loose on exit. Using up all our turn in the second half of the corner. Okay. 9 cars pulling away. We are not pulling away from the people behind us. Nearly to halfway. I overdrove that very badly.
Take the inside, Jackson. Take the inside.
And the 10's giving it to him. That's not going to hold them up very much, if at all. 9 car just caught the wall again. We are gaining a bit on them behind us. They did stay too wide for a second. They might still be too wide. That helped. But we have no room for error. We can't get loose again like we did before. We can't grab the wall. Huge tight on entry there. Ten car drops back to 10th.
31.421.
We were only a 10th slower than the leader that time. So that's not too bad. There must be a wind or something that's in pushing the rear end out and on the exit of 2. It's making it looser than all the other parts of the track. Really wants to spin out of turn 2. Thought I was going to eat the wall there. Kind of stuck in this bubble, but it's not too bad. Running P7. I'm happy with that. Been a clean race up front. In fact, I haven't seen anything, even behind me. But there probably was something. We had people on pit road. We have a lap car coming up. 16 gained a bit on us there.
20 more laps.
We're just now to halfway. This might be when we're falling off. When we start falling off pretty bad. Colton and the 2 cars in front of him are starting to get clustered. There might be some racing that happens there. We ran a bit wide that time. Not really what I wanted. Okay, not too bad. Still 1 second back. Maintaining. How long will we be able to maintain that, though? He does have pressure behind him. So if they get to racing, we could be able to hold on. It looks like they are going to get to racing. They're right on top of each other back there. Tires are falling off, but that looseness out of 2 is not going away. But that's good. It's always fun to have a car, you gotta drive it. Eight car got a bad exit that time, lost a bit of time to the 16. Okay. Hanging steady, pretty much right where we are with everybody. Arced the corner much more than I was intending to, but it actually felt pretty good and worked out. Looks like the 7 might be falling off a bit.
681.
The 9 car's catching up to him. We overdrove that. Gonna have a bad exit. 0.9 behind us now. We have no room for error. Gotta hit our marks every corner, because they are not making any mistakes behind us, and they are just hanging right at the same time length, same interval, right behind us. Got some more lap cars. They're too wide in front of Colton now. .8 to the 9. These two ahead of us are falling off a little bit, but it's not going to be enough, I don't think. A little bit loose there, but we didn't lose a ton of momentum like we did the first time. That time it did not turn. Maybe getting to that point in the race, I think our tires are definitely better than the 9s right now. I don't know if it's going to be enough to be able to make a pass. I don't even know if we're ever going to be able to get there. 0.8 behind us now. He's caught the singular car of the 7. If they get to racing, we'll probably catch them. But then if we get to racing, they'll probably catch us behind us. I don't know what's going to happen. 0.6 now to the 9. How many laps to go do we get? Coming around to get 11. 0.7 behind us. This whole group right here is just kind of closing in. It's going to make it an interesting finish. Actually catching Colton and those two ahead as well, just a little bit. Not a lot. Nine car gets loose. 0.4 to him now. We're catching him for sure. But if he doesn't just let us by, which he has no reason to, we are going to be stuck in a battle, and 16 car is going to be here before we know it. Just got the 10 to go. Oh, what is going to happen here? We've got a race on our hands now. Will we be able to do anything? Is the inside going to be good enough to make a pass? I don't feel like it's going to be. And I don't feel like our tire difference is big enough for it to be guaranteed either. He's running a bit wide right there. He's going to get a good exit still. He goes to the top. I don't know if he's letting us go. He is. Okay. Much appreciated there. That was not something you had to do at all, but I do appreciate that. That is not what the 16 wanted to see. Now we got to try and find a way around the 7. Maybe he's hoping I'll open the door on the 7. Look to his inside here.
got one
We
outside.
do.
Stay low.
He pinches us pretty good, but we hang on all right.
Hold your line.
Hopefully we'll clear him into one.
Still there. Stay low. All clear. All
We
clear.
do. All right. That's a top 5, I believe. Now they can race hard behind us. 16 has caught us. He's back behind those two now. Now we got Colton in the windshield with 5 to go. And we catch up to him. 16 has already gotten around the 9.
Good job, man. You're in 5th.
The 7 was not an easier pass than, or yeah, he was much harder to pass than the 9. So that should hold the 16 up a little bit, I think. We get a big wiggle there. Still 0.8 to Colton, so unless he's fallen off massively, I don't know if we're going to be able to get to him. I am very happy I was able to make those 2 passes, though.
31,
Did not think I was going to be able to.
6, 3.
7 raced us hard, but he was clean. And that was a fun, tiny little battle we had.
Thanks for the help.
0.7 to Colton.
You just turned left off the corner and cleared my nose. It's your fault for wrecking yourself.
No, I thought I was getting loose. I had to just give me a second.
A little bit wide
So what do you
there.
want me to do? Just hold my line where I already was?
They're arguing.
I was already turning left off the corner and I saw you getting loose and you kept on turning
We're trying to
left.
catch Colton. Getting very tight on entry and pushing hard on exit. Pushing hard, like trying to get as much out of it as I can. It's still very loose.
Not my fault you can't control the car.
2 left to go.
2 to go. Unless he has a big slip up, I don't think we're going to get there. But I'm happy to have caught up to him. I can't believe we were able to pass those 2. I didn't think we were going to have enough time, and I didn't think our tires were going to be good enough. I thought they'd be able to hold us on the outside. 16 did end up getting around the 7, but he ran out of laps to catch us.
All right, man.
Just not
25
quite
to
close
line.
enough.
You're pulling away from the car behind. The gap is 1.
I'm trying to get everything out of it I can just to get there, but way too far back to be able to go to his inside or anything. He's got to get a big loose or push up. Happy to have caught him though. That was a good race. That was fun. Nashville Superspeedway never disappoints. And that was very good. I'm
Good race.
There's the flag.
very happy with a P5. Top 5, always good.
Great job, driver.
Give everyone a good race. That was fun. Our tires were better than Colton, but we just didn't have the laps. Didn't quite have the laps.
Probably you should have dumped him.
That was fun, though. That was a fun one. Tell Colton good run. We were catching them fast, but just not enough time. We needed that to be a 45 lap race. But just 40, sadly. I was really surprised I was able to pass those guys. Well, the 9 just letting us go really helped. Because if either one of them battled over our tires, 75, 73. 75, 73, everybody. That's pretty good. But had we had to battle either of those guys for more than a couple corners, the 16 was going to get there. Our tires were just going to blow up, and it was going to be a sad day. Take a look at all the incidents, a couple of them. Here's Kina. Oh, he's going to get the wall. That's unfortunate right at the beginning. He loses a ton of track position and no cautions. There's not a lot you can get back from there. 21 grabs the wall. We're going to see a few people grab the wall out of 4. Oh, and then he spins down in front of him. That's Kina. That's unfortunate. That's just really unlucky right there. He pulls it off the wall and just spins and nowhere to go. He had no way of seeing that. Looks like he's able to keep going, though. 15 car just blinking behind us. Saw that a couple times. 11's gonna grab it. And again, maybe. Nope. It's the 15 getting loose. That's what they were arguing about, I guess. 19 gets the wall and spins it down. It was a pretty hard hit, just bounced off. And he's able to keep it out of the wall again, and that's it. Just a couple wall hits and a tiny bit of contact, and that's about all you get here at Nashville. Super clean, fun racing. I cannot believe we were able to catch up to Colton there and make those 2 passes to get up into a P5. I was not expecting to be able to do that. I'm very happy with that. 0x as well. What, there's a total of 14 incidents throughout the entire field. It's pretty good. Pretty darn good. No, 18 incidents. But still, really good. That was fun. Always fun. Thanks for watching.